super pumped about this panel because when we were doing our Zoom call, I sat there with my notebook and took like ridiculous amounts of notes. And the one thing I love so much about each of them is they do things incredibly different, but you're gonna get so much value out of it that you're gonna walk away with some great strategies. So, Brooke, let's start with you.
Okay, so we're gonna give 3 strategies that we each use. And so for me, number 1, stalk the super trainers. So this was with Ilana too, with the 2B Mindset. I was not in the 2B Mindset test group. I was not in the Live 4 test group, but we had incredible launches because I was, as a leader, stalking the super trainers' Instagram accounts, figuring out what kind of messaging they were giving so that I could take that back to my team, recreate, do that. Number 2, sneak peek groups, kind of like snoop groups into the program, and really utilizing that as step number 3, add, tag, and message. So with that, all you have to teach your team is add them to the group, tag them in the pin post, and then message them in a couple days. And so the way that that works, that pin post, I know you guys are going to ask, the pin post usually has like the highlight reel of the program and a little bit of information, but something that we found really helpful in that pin post was trying to get those like connection questions that are going to connect people in the group together and start to build that community. But really kind of, just like we do in our Coach Sneak Peeks kind of, we say, we really want to tailor this group to you. So tell us what your concerns are. What do you struggle with? And so we take those, you know, the hints that they gave us and find somebody who was in the test group to come into our group, do a live video, and share their experience. So we kind of use that as intel and to connect them all together. And so that has been super successful for us, you know, utilizing the sneak peeks and the add tag message.
Okay, we'll dive into that a little bit more, but let's have Allie kind of go through what you do a little bit differently.
Okay, so one thing I have learned is we all have to stay in a really current place of right now, and then also the future. And you can hear just from Carl this morning that we have to be thinking about what's going to happen in 3 months from now. What's happening in January? Transform 20, and all of the different products and programs. But specifically, we're talking about Transform 20 and how you can launch that, because that's the next big program. And I know for me in the past, I have missed the mark multiple times with launching programs, products, because I'm overwhelmed with the current things. Success Club, rank, goals, and I'm like, no, I'm missing the mark on future success in this business if I don't think 3 months from now. So something I do with my team, we actually just did it 2 weeks ago at our retreat, is 3 steps. We plan it, we brand it, and then we share it. Really, really quite simple. And this is something that you want to go home and do literally right now after this event, and then do it again in January, and pretty much time it with every Beachbody quarter. Is you sit down, Zoom, whatever you want to do, a retreat, and talk with your core leaders of your team. Diamond and above is who I have these conversations with, and I say, what can we do over the next 3 months? How are we going to launch this program? How are we going to run our challenge groups so that October, November, and December are all going to filter into Transform 20? How can we plant seeds about Shanti? How can we plant seeds about the next upcoming product that's coming out? And we literally collaborate on every single level. So it's not about me, it's about them. And how can we duplicate the success within our team? Also, we talk about free groups. So pretty much every single month, we'll plan a free group. And for us, in this quarter, every free group will be Shanti. Every single free group will be featuring one of his workouts. It's a 5-day free group, and we host that every single month. We make it team-wide, and we have one coach each day help share the responsibility, and that really does give you a glimpse of the program that's going to be launching in January, or the next new program, or the next big product. And then we also do live workouts. Pretty much the new trend is to do live workouts with your teams, your challengers. And as you can see that we get lots of amazing sneak peeks, the one coming out December 4th for Shanti. So what we will do, we will schedule out pretty much starting in October. Every Saturday, we will have one live free workout for the public to join in on. And it's just going to maybe do a 10-minute abs of Shanti. It's going to be a T25 workout, an insanity workout. And then you just get a glimpse. It's free. We post it on Instagram stories, social media. Anyone can join. They jump on. I screen share it. We work out. I introduce myself. And it's just making that small connection to get them to see the bigger picture of what they can be a part of. And then in December, we'll feature the workout that we have a sneak peek for Transform 20. I'm going to be quicker. Sorry about this. The next one is branded. Branded, what I mean by that is you need to make these programs your team, okay? Yes, they're amazing fitness programs, amazing nutritional programs, but how are they you? How are they your team, your brand? So for example, 80 Day Obsession. I was in the test group, and I knew that I wanted this to be more than a test group. I also attract a lot of healthcare and fitness professionals, and I knew I had to put a spin on it because that was my market and my branch and my team. So we called it Obsession Babes. That's what we named it. People weren't joining because of the program, even though they fell in love with it. They joined it because of the movement that we had created. People had no idea what Obsession Babe was, but they're like, I want that tank, I want that shaker cup, I want to be a part of whatever you're doing in those meetups. They joined because they wanted to be a part of something. And that's really important. So brand the program to who you are on your team. Last is share it. You can plan it, you can brand it, you can do all of that. But if you don't give your team a posting schedule, you're gonna miss the mark on every level. So we create a plan. I'm looking at the clock. I'm so sorry. You're good. Jeff, you're gonna kill me after this. Okay. I create a calendar and I tell them pretty much what they're gonna share 3 days a week. They also share 2 to 3 transformations every single week for 12 weeks solid before we do a launch. Yes, that means they could share someone else's. I've learned, I've seen in this business that a lot of coaches have fear of sharing someone else's transformation because they think it's gonna point them back to them. I'm going to share Melanie's transformation because it's freaking amazing. I don't care if someone else looks at her because they're going to connect with me. So my team will share 2 to 3 transformations 3 days a week for 12 weeks and highlight all of the incredible transformations from Sean T. And that's what's given us a successful launch.
I love it. Okay.
Wow.
Great. Our minds are going to explode.
And on my phone, I should have taken it. I'm doing nothing.
I'm telling you, it took me a while to digest this call after we had it. So now Miguel, it's just mind-blowing. The way you do it, totally different also. So why don't you kind of walk them into your philosophy and what you do?
2 things that I try and focus on with my team is how can I, when a product is going to launch, have most people honestly selling, right? Helping people, changing lives. And the way that I do that is something I started with the Obsession groups that's worked really, really well and created a ton of volume and kept people engaged. And instead of just doing a post and having no one comment, this really works really well. And so what I did is I created something called a Rank Advancement Mastermind group. And this group, basically what it is it goes every single month. And in that group, I'm doing videos in the back, I'm talking to Melanie, I'm interviewing people, I'm going live at 9 o'clock at night in my pajamas. I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go live in that group, and I'm going to be like 2 minutes. And she's like, you're going to be like an hour, I'm going to bed. Because I can't stop talking.
Sorry.
But anyway, so the reason this group works so well, honestly, is I make them buy into the group in a way. They have to put skin in the game. Because that's one thing I've really learned over the years, is that if they're not investing in themselves, they're not going to be building a business. So with Obsession, we said, if you want to be a part of this group that's going to start next month, what you have to do is you have to go all in. You have to get the mega pack, you have to get everything in the program in order to succeed if you want to be in the group. And we've been doing that every single month. So for example, when 2B Mindset launched, before it launched, we said you have to go all in and get the biggest package. And here's the thing, yes, it creates a crazy amount of volume, but I'll honestly tell you, we've gotten the best results ever because people are getting the kit, and they're in, and they spend $400, well, $1,000 in Canada, and they get this kit 4 months later. I'm in trouble. But it's worked really well because they're so fired up, they're excited, they got the kit, and because they put money in, they're going to do it. Does that make sense? And so that's one of the big things that we do is just having these groups. So for example, when Transform 20 is going to come out, we're going to get them to get everything in the kit because that's going to make them be all in. This month, we said you have to go all in and get as much pumpkin spice that you possibly can. So all these things gets them excited and motivated, and then when the launch comes, they have the transformations, they're excited, and it goes really, really well.
I love it, I love it. Okay, so let's kind of deeper dive into each one of you. So I know, Brooke, one of the things you shared, well actually, was like the fear of missing out. Like you really create that within that closed Facebook group. So talk about that.
I talked about the ad tag message. So in that pin post, we asked the questions that you would normally kind of do to be forming the relationship behind the scenes. It's kind of out loud. And what I found that works really well with that is the fact that when somebody is commenting, you know, here's what I'm going through, or I live here, here's my occupation, here's what I do. It starts connecting people who are maybe challengers, just prospects. They're like, hey, I have 3 kids. Or they start to connect that way. And then we ask those typical questions like, what are your goals, what do you struggle with, and all of that. And it gets them to open up enough to become a little bit more vulnerable within the group. And then they kind of get connected because, like I said, we pick those stories of the test group people. And thank you guys, the leaders who I asked to come into my groups in the past to share your stories. I picked you for a reason. My people needed to hear your stories. So you came in and poured your heart out, and you really sold it for me. And so, because I wasn't in that group, I couldn't give my own testimony. But I'm not always going to relate to everyone in my downline whose prospects are in there, but we try to connect those people. And then when we share those, at the very end, we put the packages up, and that's something that works really well for us is breaking it down per price. And you guys have probably seen my graphics. I break it down per price, and so they see, oh my gosh, that's usually $400. It's only $180. And then that person they connected to, they'll see them commenting. They're like, oh, she has 3 kids too, and she just bought it. Oh my gosh, I can do this too. And so it really creates that fear of missing out. You do the countdowns and all that, but I think that connection is really powerful too.
I love that. I love that. All right, so Allie, when you do yours, it's not in a Facebook group.
They fail for me. They do not work at all.
Which is good to share that perspective, because I'm sure other people in the audience can relate to that. But how do you funnel people into kind of that sign-up flow? What do you do a little differently?
So I use a platform called Instapage, and it is a paid service. It was like $39 a month, and now it's $79 a month, if you want to know the pricing. But it's Instapage, and I love it because most coaches use Woohoo forms or Google forms. And for me, I really want to get people off of just filling out a form. I want them to connect with me or to connect with my coach. So Instapage is a platform where you can create a landing page. You can make a fun video. I have a video, it's like 5 minutes. It just talks about who I am, kind of my story, why I run these online training groups, what they're going to get. I have a little message, and then below I will share maybe a video example, Shanti. I will show some transformations from the test group. I will say what they're going to get in this group, and then it literally says drop your name here and your email. It shoots me an email saying here's a new lead, and then I will message them all of the information. At that point, I do use Streak. So when I get that message to my inbox, I will literally just click my script. It will shoot them all of the information for Transform 20, and that's how I create my leads. Also, if you use Instapage, I love that it keeps all of your leads in one document, so you can actually download a report. It's great to just put it in Excel. You can put it into Streak, whatever you want. Another perk is for your coaches. I'm all about using resources for my coaches for business tools. So I actually use Instapage as an incentive for maybe Diamond Coaches, Success Club, maybe whatever my team goal is. And if they earn it, I will actually create them a landing page as well. And I'll do that for Transform 20. So pretty much all of my coaches that hit a certain goal in October, I will create the same landing page for them. I will just put their picture in, put their video in, give them the link, and then they'll start to funnel their leads that way.
I love it. And then I like that you said you can track if they're actually using it or not,
Yeah.
so you can see if they're having success with it and kind of guide them along to help them in the process.
So if you have a coach, say you have 20 coaches that earn that link, that landing page link, I can see that this coach has only brought in 2 people, or that person is bringing in 40, and I can be like, hey girl, jump on my call, say why and how you bring in 40 people.
Yeah.
In a week or a month or whatever.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
great.
That's really awesome. All right, so, and Miguel, so you also, one of the things that you teach leading up to that product launch is ads and advertisements. So why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So a while ago, how many of you ever run a Facebook ad before? Just curious. How many of you don't anymore? How many aren't going to raise your hands? So basically what I do a lot with my team is I teach them to invest in their business, but also create a real business. Because I believe that if any business has a marketing budget, any business has a personal development budget, and to me, if a coach isn't investing any money in their business, then really it's a hobby, it's not really a business, right? Especially as you're getting started. For me, I don't really do Instagram a lot, so this is going to be probably, anyone who's doing Instagram is going to be like, hey, whatever, but one thing that works really well that I'm teaching those groups right now is to create a lot of video. So what I do is I tell them to just set their phone somewhere, hit record for like 15 minutes, and just record a bunch of moves that they like to do, ideally targeted to the program that's about to launch, right? So as, for example, let's say with Transform 20, if you were in the test group, you would go ahead and do your moves that you're going to be doing as they go, but you would make them a part of a video. So this video, you would then import it into iMovie, and in iMovie you can chop it up to 60 seconds. You can go download some royalty-free music anywhere. One of the ones that I like the best is you can go right into the Apple Store, just download it from there, and then you can put it right into iMovie. There's another one called Audio Jungle, which is really, really good if you want to go there, but the songs are about 20 bucks, but you can reuse them. People always ask me where to get that song, and it's just royalty-free, and that way, when you upload it, because the next step is once you make that video, I teach them how to take out a like ad. Okay, so I get them to learn to make a like ad on their own. I don't do it for them; they have to do it. And so what they'll do is they'll upload the video into Facebook. They'll go into the ads manager and be really scared. Ooh, scary. And then it's not that hard, right? Then they upload the video, and then I teach them how to do a really cool little marketing tagline that'll get people to like their page. When they're creating that video, instead of targeting like all of Canada or all of the US, which people used to do, that doesn't work anymore, I get them to figure out like what are their 5 things that they're all about way earlier in their coaching journey. So now we focus on those things and we say, okay, those are the people that you're going to want to target. So like if you're into like pottery or I don't know, like Christianity, whatever that is, that's who you're really going to target to see this video, as well as people that like fitness, that kind of stuff. So we're not just going and creating a video that's going to show to everybody that likes fitness, because that's going to be useless, right? So that video ends up showing to those people. And then likes start coming in pretty quickly. Typically I tell them to put in like 20 bucks to whatever, $200 in a month. It depends on their own budgets and how much they want to spend. But a typical coach in a month can add like 1,000 new followers. Because my whole goal is motivate them so that they're ready to sell. But also, I don't want them talking to the same people over and over again. Because a lot of coaches get into that problem. I find especially new coaches, they're just talking to the same people over and over again. It's like shuffling a deck of cards. How many aces? 4, right? And then if you reshuffle it and you take all the aces, there's no more aces. They're gone, right? So people need new followers. And so the easiest way that I can tangibly do that without teaching them, really cool filtering and all that kind of stuff, because it's kind of hard as a guy to teach filtering and makeup and all that stuff. I teach them to do the ads. And then that way, in a year, if they follow the process, they'll have 12,000 people that are now following them on their Facebook page, right? And it's not a huge investment. Then the next thing that I do is once they have the people, I teach them to do one more ad, which is an invite ad, very similar to what they're talking about. So it's not just like, hey, how would you like to buy a 21-day fix? It's not like that. It's like a story, right? It's a story, a really passionate story about something they went through. And then in that story, at the end, I say, hey, like, press heart or drop an emoji if you're interested, right? And then they'll upload a photo of themselves. Now, here's the key, because if you do that ad and you spend, let's say, $200 over a week, you're going to get like 200, 300 people that are all interested, which is awesome for new coaches to have that. That's why this works so well, because they're excited, because a lot of people just want someone to talk to, and they're so nervous when they run these ads. They're like, what if I don't get anybody? I'm like, oh, you'll get people, don't worry. Then they get spammed, right? So then the last part that I teach is something called ManyChat. I wish I had more time, but ManyChat, basically what we do with that is it's really simple tool, just ManyChat.com, I think it's like $10 a month, and you can tie it to a post. So let's say you have a post up, let's say it comes to comments, you say, okay, tie it to that post, and send an automated message. Now here's the key, because I messed it up a lot, is the automated messaging part, you just want to make it sound really simple and one-liner. So what my message will say is like, hey, saw you were really interested in Transform 20. What are your goals with the program? Question, right? And that message goes out to every single person. After 5 minutes from them posting the little emoji, they get that message. Now, the key is once they respond to me at that point, so out of 200 people, maybe 100 will respond, that's when I start getting the notifications of messaging them back. And that's when I start having conversations with them, and then basically convert them to a sale.
I love it. And I'm sure that your brain is going to explode with all of that information. So we are going to go back and do a little Zoom, or we're going to kind of record just a deeper dive to answer some of the questions we know you're going to have based on today, and then we're going to put it in the round table for you, because we know we can elaborate a lot more, but we were only given this much time. All right, so one more thing that I wanted to ask you before we do our little rapid fire round is you have this great little posting schedule. We all know you're great at crafting these great little graphics, but that you do for yourself, but also give to your team. So that just kind of leads up to the launch.
Yeah, and we've talked a ton about marketing. I think we've all decided that it's very important for us as leaders to provide that. We had talked about this backstage. I said there's a lot of people who like the to-be mindset nutrition, and they like the to-be mindset in their business. Like, they want the freedom. They know that they need to do these certain things, each week, so we have a schedule for that. So it's like, post at least 2 of these, at least 3 of these, and plan your week. But then there's people who are like A to obsession, and they want every single thing. And I'm like, okay, then here you go. You can do this strategic every single step. And so to implement that into like the Transform 20, I sent this to you guys just as my brain was working to map out the next few months. And now they said Transformers in the video, so I can talk about it. So there's going to be Transformers that a lot of the leaders who are in the Transformation 20 test group will be sharing. Take those and do a move of the day, and apply that with your team. Do a fun challenge. Our team name is Fit Boss, so I'm like Fit Boss Transformers. Using that hashtag, doing it with our challengers and our coaches, doing it on Instagram stories, that Transformer move of the day, and creating a fun challenge out of that, and utilizing things like that are super fun. And then the next thing too that I had sent you guys, our tracker that we have for Transform 20, you also saw that in the video. Almost everything that's on that tracker just posts to Instagram. And so I went ahead and made an Instagram checklist for my coaches to go ahead and start doing October 15th, as soon as we're allowed to talk a little bit more about it. But they can share all of those things. And everything on the tracker are things they should be putting into their Instagram stories. What was your challenge today? How did you overcome it? What made you laugh? Like, that's part of the tracker, and I can say that because it was on there. So just taking all that and just putting it on Instagram with that move of the day, they can still be doing their program and weaving this in ahead of time, and people start, and this will attract people to challenge groups in general, not just Transform 20.
I love it. I love it. Coaches struggle, new coaches struggle with what to post, and so you're not only doing the work for yourself, but you're really helping them too. Okay, so last thing, as we kind of wrap up, if you were to say one thing that the audience should do if they were going to implement based on something you said, what would be your one piece of advice?
Mine is do the marketing plan and create a posting schedule. I'm free to share mine, but we have so many great minds in here. I'd encourage all of us to share what we do into the round table. I mean, sharing is caring, and I feel like we have so many different things that we take from each other to make our own and then give to our team and teach them to do the same. Anything that you guys do, please come to here and share to see what works for you guys, because we can take those bits and pieces. Perfect.
So I would say, obviously, marketing plan, make a plan, go back. But really, to go back and cast the vision with your team. This past year for me has all been about casting the vision, even when I wasn't sure who's going to be on board with me. And that means this product, this launch. Go back, tell them what you want from them, what you want from this season, what you want from this launch, and where you want your team to be come January 1st. We as a leader, it's our responsibility to do that. Maybe your team struggles with community and collaboration, but you all have a decision today to change that right now. You can go home, you can create community, you can create collaboration, you can run your training groups differently, you can make a planning session, and you can have an incredible end of the year Q4 and a kick booty January 2019.
That's awesome. I would say teach your team to invest in themselves, but also invest in their business. I would say the number one thing I could teach you would be just teach your team to invest. Teach them to spend money, whether it's an ad on Instagram or an ad on Facebook. Like, a lot of people I hear them say, well, I don't spend any money on advertising. And to me, that blows my mind, because so many of you, especially some of the newer coaches, and you guys are awesome. I'm like humbled to be a part of it. You guys are amazing. Success Club 400, like, what is that? But seriously, imagine if you now took that and spent money. Like you would just duplicate and you could transform the whole world. And I hope you guys do that.
I love it. All right, so like I said, we will have a video for you guys with some more information. But before we go, we have to say our word. So my word is blessed. That's what Beachbody means to me. Just everything about the company has been a blessing in my life, to the people that I've met, to my relationship with my husband, to our family, to our kids. And so blessed is my word.
And my word is freedom, and not only just with the time and income part of it, but we were just talking backstage, we're like, how did you get started? I was like, I just love this, that I'm able to be creative with this. I've cleaned teeth all day as a hygienist, and there's only like a couple things I needed to focus on each day. And I was like, this is boring. And I loved coaching. We get to be up here and have totally different perspectives and change things, and that's what I love about it, is just having the creativity behind it.
For me, it's a platform. Coaching has given me the opportunity to share my story of brokenness and be able to empower other women to do the same, and it's changed my life.
I'll say compassion. I love that we're so compassionate. I think a big part of our business being compassionate for other people's stories, and whether it's your team or the people that you're helping, your challenge groups. I just love that, and it allows me to be compassionate every day, and I hope that it allows you to be compassionate to other people every day.
Awesome. All right, so let's give a big round of applause for Brooke and Ali and Miguel. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.